first, some of my thoughts on what's happened today. This is a government that is all about spin. It is purely a PR machine. And gosh, they must have been so pleased in Downing Street with themselves this morning as the Sun runs its huge front page picture of a ship, oh ship, small boat arrivals, to live on barges and to cut the £3.5 billion hotel bill. There you are. Hook, line and sinker, the Tory press have swallowed the idea that something really big's going to happen. Well, let's have a look at a little clip of the Immigration Minister, Robert Jenrick, in the House of Commons just before 1 o'clock today.
The government will use military sites being disposed of in Essex and Lincolnshire and a separate site in East Sussex. These will be scaled up over the coming months and will collectively provide accommodation to several thousand asylum seekers through repurposed barrack blocks and porter cabins. In addition, my right honourable friend the Prime Minister is showing leadership on this issue by bringing forward proposals to provide accommodation at Catterick Garrison Barracks in his constituency.
So there you are. Virtually no mention of ships or barges whatsoever, only that they are considering the idea, but that doesn't matter. They've got their front pages. That's all it's really all about. And yes, RAF Scampton, well, we broadcast live last week where many of you signed the petition at change.org to say this simply must not happen. No, RAF Scampton, home of 617 Squadron, the home of the famous Dam Busters raid, a place not just of huge British and international historic importance, but somewhere that had a really viable business plan for the future. Well, that is going to be turned into a migrant centre, along with a former RAF base in Essex, with another training base down in East Sussex near Bexhill, and Catterick. The Prime Minister's constituency has been thrown into the equation, I think, to say to other MPs, you've got nothing to moan about, although we don't yet know what Catterick will be used for, if indeed it ever is. Is that perhaps just more spin? So will any of this work? Well, let's have a look at East Sussex, shall we? That houses 1,200 people. On the 22nd of August last year, 1,295 people crossed the English Channel and were processed through Dover. I suppose the good thing is they won't have too far to travel, but that will deal with one day. In fact, if you add up the 3 declared sites, well, the last half of August last year, 5,500 people came. That's even more than the sites announced today. Not a single person will leave the over 450 hotels they're housed in already. Not a penny will come off the £3.5 billion bill. And indeed, there was talk today in the Commons about local authorities being given even more money. No, all these plans are for those they expect to cross the English Channel over the course of the next week. Nothing in this statement stops the boats. Nothing in this statement reduces the bill. I believe the whole thing to be a complete and utter fraud.